Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, early comers. I swear, we're doing it this time for real. Oh, we're already in the draft. I'll mute the music. And oh, here we go. Right, I'll just make sure I've got everything up ready. So this one's a best of 7 in the playoff stages now. And Diante going for his patented citadels. MrMorec going for a bit more of the hybrid maps. And there's Oasis as well. So Inside Out and Citadels and Dark Forest by Diante. So he's gone from all the more closed maps. Dark Forest always ends up being a little bit tricky though, from my experience. Normally sneak villages getting quite a lot. And let me just making sure I've got everything I need. There we go. So it should be an interesting series. MrMorec is technically the higher seeded player here. See, I think I'd probably give him the advantage on the more open maps, and I guess we can see how he does on the more closed one, and if he's got any strats to play against Diante. Minoan's picked first by Diante, and you've got quite a big selection here. Shang and Persian second. I guess for those water maps, Greeks for either probably Citadels, the Greeks. But Minoan's, I guess that's a pretty good grab for. Minoan's definitely the best water civ now that Hittite has been nerfed a bit in the last patch. And what's the next? Maybe Yamato. There's still, who am I trying to say? Latvia in the mix. Yamato is the pick though. Another good hybrid civ. Hittite Palmyrans. Palmyrans does surprise me a little bit, but I guess they can still be pretty decent on the more closed maps. Egyptians as well. And there's finally the Latvia. Yeah, obviously most of the civs are going to get chosen in this draft. Phoenicians, Karth, Romans are still left, probably a good pick still. Sumerians have been pretty decent since the new patch. They're just a little bit slow in the early game, but Macedonians still available as well. So probably Romans, I'd say, would be my first pick, but Mace Romans, there we go. And so what have we got left? Assyrians chosen Sumerians. So maybe, okay, Assyrians is MrMorec's pick for that. And so, pretty quick draft in the end. Like I said, this one is going to be best of 7. In fact, there is going to be a series after this as well. It's going to be, who is it going to be? It is Escarba against Bob Est, or however you actually pronounce his name, who I've actually been seeing getting on quite a lot of practice recently in the 1v1s. Let's have a look. They've not got a lobby up yet. Okay, they're just deciding what server to go on. Let's have a look. Okay, so they just sort themselves out. Let's have a look at the draft again. So, yeah, it was quite interesting that Diante took Minoans as his first pick. But again, they are just very solid for either of these water maps. Well, I guess more so for Mediterranean than inland. Inland's a little bit more of a difficult one. And Greeks being picked quite early by Diante is quite interesting. But again, for the maps they chose, and they still managed to get Latvia. I'm kind of surprised that Hittite and Palmyrans were chosen before Latvia was. That does surprise me a little bit. And yeah, first map is Highland still, but then we have all these maps to pick from for the rest of the series. So yeah, just hello again to any newcomers that have just popped into the stream. This time we do actually have a game for you to watch. Well, by newcomers, I mean just people who have just joined the stream. I'm sure you're all very familiar. All right, Billy. Who are you rooting for? Diante4life. Oof. I mean, it's best of 7, Billy. You can figure it out, right? What the X should be there. I mean, I do think one map noob. I mean, he's definitely a lot stronger on the closed maps. I think he's still decent. I don't know if he's MrMorec standard, because MrMorec's obviously a very solid player. I think MrMorec arguably should have maybe beat Doubt and that best of 5 series. It was a pretty close one. Maybe low. I can't remember exactly how the series went. I think MrMorec went up 2-0 though. I can't see the lobby. It's Pombuyo. I can do words. What happens if I do the direct link? Unknown error. Okay, that's not good. I'm hoping that MrMorec has not just locked us out. That would be very unfortunate. Oh dear, I think he might have not turned spectate on, so that's going to be another good start to the stream. Let me just refresh AOE2 Rex just to make sure. Okay, there we go. It's just AOE2 Rex being rubbish, so the game has started. And I'll jump straight in. Oh, interesting. So MrMorec's gone for Palmyrans on the Highland map. And Diante going for the much more usual civ for this map, the Lac Viat. Looks like Diante just went to grab these. I think we're a couple of minutes behind, so it should catch up fairly quickly, I think. But, no, MrMorec does get an elephant for himself there. I did see that the capture age itself got some improvements. I don't know how much it's changed. No, still the gold mining tech there instead of the stone one. I think it's more for the team game display. It's the UI for that. It's improved quite a bit. But that's not going to change for the 1v1. So yeah, MrMorec on the Palmyrans, who obviously for newer players to the stream that don't know so much, they have the 75 food villages instead of 50, but they work 25% faster. So normally you'd expect to see Diante with a little bit of a villager lead and some idle time from MrMorec there, as it's a little bit harder to keep that villager production constantly growing. And you can see Diante's already nearly got the 500 food to click up, where MrMorec's quite a way off. And again, I would expect the Lac Viat in this matchup to have the advantage. Why paused? It's not paused for me. Is it paused on the stream? Oh, have I not? Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't switch the capture age, my bad. Can you see the capture age now? I'll just double check. I think I just hadn't swapped to capture age. Yeah, okay, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. I've not streamed a game in ages. So yeah, sorry about that. We've just clicked up for both players actually. Slightly quicker for Diante. Went for the 21 villagers. Normally with the extra berry gathering speed from Lac Viat, it's normally quite easy to click on 20. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. And the 19 vills for MrMorec. So and he's Only like a minute of idle time, which Palmyrans isn't too bad. A lot of the time you see Palmyrans going up on like 16, 17 vils instead of going for the 19. So I don't know if he's going to try and just... he's not making any clubbers, so maybe he's just trying to fast bronze here. He nearly does have the food. Diante's not doing anything aggressive himself. He still doesn't even have a barracks down yet. Don't know if there's a villager. What we're going on here, he's just scouting wood lines for the time being. Just a little bit of hunt being pushed by MrMorec, but yeah, you can see he's got the wood and he's pretty close to having the food. Diante does hit tool first, but like I said, he's only just putting down buildings now. And again, maybe did forget to build the barracks there. He's got 3 on the market. He's not going to have enough wood for the second building just yet. And indeed, archery range and stable. Interesting, instead of the market being dropped. And oh, he has actually switched into the bows now, so it's not... Oh, okay, interesting. He's going for scout and bow. I guess he did have quite a lot of resources in bag, and obviously with the Palmyran bonus. At this point, the bonus starts kicking a little bit more as that vil count starts to creep up. And... wood tech already coming in. A couple of clubbers. You would have thought, as the Lakviat Diante would be trying to get more aggressive against the Palmyrans, though. Yeah, well, he's definitely not going bronze now. He's got the 2 military buildings, and he's got the defensive tower and a stone as well. I don't know if that's intentional that he's gathering more stone. I guess he will need more stone if he wants to build the walls and stuff, so that makes sense. Granary on his berries there. Scout just coming out as well to try and find his opponent. But yeah, I think Diante, he's going battle axe now, but it's already like nearly 11 minutes into the game. Just has his clubbers chilling here. I mean, this again, it's the Lakviat. You probably want to be playing more aggressive. As the longer the game goes, the more you're going to, I think, favour just the Palmyran villager work rate bonus. And he has walled off this side of his base, house walls here, but he is still open here, and you obviously can see the scout into the back here. MrMorec still just trying to find his opponent, but I think there's pretty much only one place he can be now. So he should have figured it out. And tool working coming in as well. 27 vils to 31, so not much idle time. Scouting on the villager now though. Doesn't have any of the either of the upgrades in yet, so the villagers do hide away. And if Diante notices that the armor upgrade isn't in, so I think he's actually going to lose a little bit sloppy there from Diante. I don't know if he's even spotted this yet. He's starting to bring the axes back. And he's already lost a couple of villagers. The scouts are getting much more damage than they really should be. Axe does come out, so the scout should be dealt with here, but this guy's still just... He's already got 3 villager kills. Like I said, he didn't have that armor upgrade in for quite some time. Walls are going to go up now, but I mean, he's already killed 5 villagers with just 2 scouts. That's insane. And he looks like he picked off that... it says he's got 6 kills here, so I don't know what the other unit he killed was. Bow is all now moving in as well. Just more reinforcements flooding in from MrMorec. Woodworking coming as well. Yeah, you can see, in fact, villager lead for MrMorec as well. So this villager's essentially the same as having 40 regular villagers at this point. So pretty huge eco lead for MrMorec already. I mean, axes are going to make it a little bit awkward for the scouts, but like I said, the bows... he's got 5, but where are they? The bows are actually defensive at the moment. He's only got 1 bow forward. The scout's still just trying to look to pick off a couple of villagers here or there. Diante a little bit quicker with the garrisoning with the TC. So I think the scout shouldn't get too much more damage in, but arguably the damage has already been done. You can see again, yeah, I think that's 6 eco kills now. And MrMorec's just chilling here. He's stopped making units, so it looks like he is going to work his way to the Bronze Age. And Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he could have been a bit more active using these bows as well. Maybe just holding back defensively. I'm sitting pretty easy. He knows he's killed a bunch of villagers, and he's been pretty much pumping villagers non-stop. It's already 5 ahead. As the Palmyrans is pretty ridiculous, and Bronze Age is already in. And there might be another villager. Yeah. So the thing is, like, the axes do a lot of damage to the scouts with the bonus damage as well, but the scouts just have the maneuverability. MrMorec just microing these units around. In fact, this wall didn't even get finished, so I guess whoever the walling villager got picked off. And again, this villager's just going to get picked as well. And I've got a feeling this is going to be Bronze Age into GG, called from Diante. I would not be surprised. As, I mean, I guess it's only a 3 villager. I say only 3, but like I said, essentially he's got an extra 25% more villagers, so he's basically at 45 vills now. And yeah, more villagers getting picked off. These scouts have got so much value. I don't think I've ever seen so much value for 2 scouts. In AOE1. I mean, you could just bone them down at this point. This one's only on like 10 HP, 6 HP. I mean, crazy. Yeah, I've got a feeling this is going to be, like I said, Bronze Age. Is he just going to tap out? Okay. He's deciding to play on for now. I guess he's clicked Bronze Age. I just have a little counter attack in. But the defensive bows are probably going to make this go pretty much nowhere. There's one villager probably will die, and probably do have the extra armor on their villagers, so a little bit tougher to kill. But you've got to think. I think scouts are still just chilling. You got to think the game is pretty much over at this point. Bronze Age, like I said, is coming in for Diante, but yeah, he just didn't pay attention. Like, I don't know, I think if he started moving the axes out, and GG called, yeah. And yeah, just a little. Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. There we go. Yeah, he was just trying to get the walls in. The scouts snuck in, and I guess he just didn't notice for ages. Like, I think it was about this point. No, it wasn't. It was about this point. Yeah, when the scouts just come in, and I think he just doesn't notice, because this is just like the auto run where he does garrison those vills, but then he just loses a bunch after. Like I said, he had the axes here. Maybe he was just distracted by this guy at the front. But yeah, a little bit of a sloppy defense, I think you've got to say, from Diante in that one. And yeah, pretty straightforward 1-0 for MrMorec in the end there. And we'll go back. Let's have a look at the just making sure I don't miss the game again. Okay, they're just setting up the lobby now, so I'll just take us back to the draft real quick. So it is Diante's pick for next map, and just to remind people again, he doesn't have to pick his own maps. That I'll be expecting that he probably will do. So yeah, MrMorec does manage to win out the game with the Palmyrans against the Lac-Viat. I was saying I was a little bit surprised that MrMorec didn't pick Lac-Viat himself. It looks like they're hovering citadels now. I don't know if that definitely is going to be the next map. Okay, no, Diante's literally just confirmed it himself. So Citadels is going to be the next map, which is Diante's specialty. And what do we think each of the players is going to play here? Let's have a look. I mean, Hittites can be a decent. I was saying that now that stone throwers are much stronger, the +1 attack on the range units doesn't feel as strong anymore. I'm not sure who you go with here. Maybe just Diante Egyptians, maybe. You could go Greeks, though. Although if you do run out of goals with the Greeks, it's not very fun late in game. As I found out against whoever it was I was playing that time. I can't actually remember who it was. It might be against Jesse, actually. So yeah, it could be the Egyptians. But yeah, MrMorec, I'm not seeing an obvious... Was it against Bone? Okay. Yeah, I think it was Inside Out. I played against Jesse. I can't remember. I lost a lot of games. Let's have a look. Just double checking the AOE2 Rex again. Just because, like I said, for some reason mine's just like not updating properly. Yeah, the game has started. Okay, and then I'll get us back to capture age, so you can actually see the capture age this time. So it is the Hittites against the Greeks. And okay, as we just get back up to speed. And yeah, MrMorec. Like I said, I think maybe the Hittites aren't as strong anymore just because the stone throwers are much stronger. Is that open there? I think that is actually open there. Can I double click the trees? I think it's actually open there. I don't know if that'll become relevant if Diante like deletes a wall here. Might be one of those things where your opponent just doesn't notice though. But yeah, Greeks for Diante, who when they get to bronze are very hard to deal with the faster working TCs and the much cheaper hoplites. Oh yeah, of course they have their own stone throw bonus. Yeah, that's a good point. Do you want to play? Yeah, I guess you out stone throw the Greek stone thrower. Okay, so this could be quite an interesting one then. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the CR Greek. I'm trying to string my words together here. The Hittite CA definitely are very good against the hoplites themselves. Just trying to think. I guess we'll just have to see, I guess. It might just be a thing where, I mean, yeah, I was going to say where MrMorec maybe just out macros Diante here, but this is Diante's map. It'd be interesting to see if MrMorec goes for actually... Oh no, he can't go for any slinger shenanigans as Hittite, actually. So Diante can actually rest assured that. So maybe it would have been a more of a big brain move for MrMorec to pick a civ that did have slingers, just to like put the fear of that into Diante, because I think he's suffered against a few players on Citadel doing slinger rushes against him. But yeah, Diante must... Well, he just definitely knows that Hittites can't build their slingers, so he's pretty much safe for the time being. And you can see both players just going through a few villages in queue still, going for what I expect is going to be a fast bronze. Does have that little berry brush out the front. Like I said, you normally do have that. Sometimes you can get like a lucky spawn where like the tree line like maybe closes off here and the berries are like in the back closed off. But neither player has that hit. Like I said, I think this one is I'm pretty sure it's open here. I could be wrong if there's... Oh no, okay, looks like there is actually a bush behind there. Let me actually select it that time. There we go. Okay, so it's not... It is closed, although only one tree there. And yeah, like I said, I think, yeah, maybe you would... Stone throw versus archers. I mean, I don't know how much the players have actually really adapted much to the new patch. Like I said, I've seen a few players have been practicing quite a lot in the 1v1s. Barak's just going up for Diante now, as both click up. It's interesting, MrMorec's actually gone for 24 instead of 23 villagers hit. But yeah, I guess you should expect the Hittites to be the more aggressive with the extra movement of the chariots. But then I guess it's just a question of whether or not Diante does try to go for the stone throw response, and whether or not we see the cycle of counter units, or if people just go old school and just try and outmass each other. Market and stable go up for Diante, and what do we see from MrMorec? Archery range, I suspect, and market. Yep. So nothing out of the normal here, apart from this guy gathering gold. Although I guess he'll probably use the gold eventually as the Greeks. Well, he has to. He doesn't have chariots. And yeah, not too much to say, but at the moment, but we can just anticipate the Bronze Age soon to come. Just having a look at. Yeah, it's quite nice to have that storage pit on the gold as well. There, Morec's gold kind of a bit. Oh no, he does have the gold here, but he just wanted to have that pit deeper on the wood line, which is good too. Nice worker efficiency, and yeah, woodworking both coming in for both players at the same time as well. And okay, so he's actually done the old thing of trapping the villagers behind the storage pit, which get them in there deep. But like I know, no, we said that was closed, so yeah, I was going to say if someone sneaks around, just another archery range coming out. I expect probably maybe another one will be soon to come as well to get those chariot archers pumping. Hittites obviously get the faster and cheaper wheel research, though both players will definitely be researching that ASAP, you've got to imagine. Scout comes out a little bit late for Diante for having a look around, but he will get some vision. I guess maybe he only just got the food free flat, and then we go wheel coming in now. I think wheel will actually come in far quicker for Morec here. Just like I said, the researchers, there you go, 43 seconds, half the time for Hittite. And yes, another couple of archery ranges going up. And also the hoplites already been queued up from the academy. I don't think I saw any tool pit upgrades yet. Bronze shield is going to be a big one here. Going to want to get that pretty soon to give the hoplites that extra pierce armor. Chariot archer's already pumping though, like I said. One vill advantage somehow. I don't know exactly how that's happened with the equal idle time. How is he a villager ahead? Oh, Greeks, yeah, obviously Greek TC. Faster working TC's got him a villager ahead at this point. Granary outside. That's a little bit brave. It's been quite susceptible to these chariot archers coming out. As the cat's decided she's interested on sitting in my lap, as I'm trying to cast. Leather armor comes in. Only a few hoplites out at the moment. Scout does spot the initial wave of chariots. Gets a very small amount of damage in. Gold mining as well coming in from Diante. Villagers are moved back inside in advance. Like I said, I was a little bit brave to try and go for that. In fact, those are going to get ranged here. So Morec could get a few picks unless Diante rushes quickly, which he does do. But just about manages to stay alive. A little bit pinched for food is Morec at the moment now. So maybe doesn't have enough resources to pump from this many archery ranges yet. Yeah, bronze shield coming in. But again, it looks like Diante's a little bit pinched for food as he tries to get the farms up. And as I said, Morec on the aggression here. With the chariots, obviously just the mobility, giving him the map control for the time being. But yeah, like Unrestricted saying in the chat, Diante can get the Vill advantage in the long run. It looks like, I don't think I saw a government centre from either player. So it's just going to be in the military, and here he comes with the stone throwers. So Diante is ready for that. Yeah, with the +1 to the chariot archers makes the Hittite chariot archers much more effective against those hoplites, even with their bronze armor in. Bronze shield, I should say. This mass is already going to be a little bit awkward, so it'll be down to the stone throwers to see what work they can get done. Where actually is his... there we go, siege workshops at the back there. And see what MrMorec's micro is up to, as the cat tries to pull my headset off my face. He's a little bit lazy with the hoplites there, throwing away quite a few. And ooh, I was going to say you don't want to let the this guy. Ooh, okay, MrMorec maybe not paying as much attention as could have picked off a villager there. Stone thrower, as we say, with 3 pierce armor now. So they will take 2 damage from each of the chariot archers from the Hittites. So the Hittite bonus still working wonders in the Bronze Age. Not as strong in the Tool Age anymore with their slinger buffs. But Diante is going to need a bit more going on if he's going to hold this off. Medium gate taking a little bit of a pounding. Stone thrower shot in though. 1 chariot goes down. MrMorec sort of half paying attention, a bit of damage creeping in. Like I said though, the Hittite doing 2 damage. There we go, maybe this stone thrower is still the answer to the Hittite chariot archers. There we go. How did that guy not die? I swear he just took a stone straight to the head. Just have 3 stone throwers now. So numbers are building up, with 27 chariot archers and the priest coming in as well for MrMorec. Again, just maybe throwing away a few of his hoplites though is Diante. He's only on 5. I think he's, like I said, he's been sort of just letting them idle, just like run out of the base. Big hit from the stone throwers there, get a couple of kills. Hoplites again, just sort of... oh dear me. So yeah, Diante not really use... oh, he does snipe the priest, and he gets a big hit there. But again, it's just like the hoplite numbers a little bit lacking here. In fact, has he just switched off the hoplites? Okay, there we go. And you can see the stone throwers are doing much more damage, but again, just like the Hittite +1 damage, meaning they basically effectively do double damage to the stone thrower compared to every other civ. Oh yeah, MrMorec getting up the 2nd TC now. Oh, sorry, Diante. Oh, MrMorec's on 3 already. Hadn't noticed that. It's decent vill advantage for MrMorec at the moment. Ability coming in now, though. Like I said, I think he just threw away a few too many of the hoplites that he could have been using to... I don't know, maybe the hoplite number doesn't really make much of a difference here, like. Stone throwers do most of the work. Gate does go down, though. And we've got 30 chariot archers knocking on the door. MrMorec, some decent micro to avoid the shots. Just going to try and deal with the hoplites for the time being. Should be a big hit though. A couple more chariots go down. What do we have? Kind of town centre. So, yep, Diante just trying to switch into the boom. Again, he is ahead on villagers here. Let's see what scores. Small advantage to MrMorec. So I get. Priests are only going to be of limited effectiveness against the chariots that obviously resist conversion, so I'm not entirely sure why Diante went for that, unless it was literally just to counter convert if one of his stone throwers or something got converted. MrMorec looks like he's not going to try and push in for now. Maybe he thinks he has the eco advantage, but it's still in the favour of Diante at this point. Priest doing a little bit of healing in the back. Maybe a little bit brave from Diante to move out with this size force, because if this gets swept up, MrMorec just sweeps straight in. Stone throwers going a little bit wide with a few shots, but there we go. Bit of damage done. A couple of losses though. Stone throwers obviously pretty expensive. Hoplites just getting kind of, yeah, it's just like +1 damage still for the Hittites. Is just making this kind of easy for MrMorec in the end. But again, the eco advantage still in Diante's favour. He's just not getting like the number of units on the field, and these throwers going to get caught out as well. Maybe again, Diante maybe just pushing out a little bit prematurely. And again, maybe just throwing away from units. So I guess he's sort of keeping the number. It's been about around that 30 point for the last 3, 4, 5 minutes. Resources gathered. Have a look. I mean, I think it should be more for Diante at this point. What am I trying to look for? Yeah, way more for Diante. But I think, like, oh no, the KD's actually pretty even. But I guess, like, a lot of the kills here are stone throwers, so, like, the effective value of the kills is probably higher for MrMorec. Hoplite's obviously pretty cheap for the Greeks. He's getting some numbers down. He's trying to get the watchtower. Maybe just, yeah, get some towers down to try and help defend himself. Pushed out onto that gold there as well. Still, like I said, has the Vil lead. And he's actually pushing him back at the moment. Artisanship only just coming in now. I hadn't actually even noticed that. A little bit delayed on that for MrMorec, I think. Probably should have had that bit earlier. Stone throwers, see how much they can do here. I think Diante should be trying to control these units a bit more effectively. 3 stone throwers go down for more or less nothing. 4. Yeah, just... Again, I'm just not sure about Dante's control of his military here. I'm trying to trying to word this in a way that's not like overly mean. But, again, he's just not getting the numbers up. He's just like not controlling the units really effectively. Yeah, it's just a lot of them are just going into the meat grinder now. It's up to 42 chariot archers. And MrMorec is adding in a couple of priests again, although actually they're just chilling at home. And it is actually open at the front here still. Tower's going up, but it's still a gap there. This probably gets denied. I imagine pretty much all these villagers are going to go down. He does manage to get the small gate going before. And this is going to equalise the villager count quite a lot. And I think, again, it's just... I mean, he still has 5 stone throwers, to be fair. But just like, again, the hoplite numbers have never... I don't think they've ever really been in 2 digits or much above that. The small gate being up is going to buy Diante a little bit more. In fact, it's up to iron. I hadn't even noticed that there. MrMorec's base. Farm eco. It's not the best. Could be a little bit more tidy than this, but he's chilling. He's got quite a few villagers on gold, so maybe he's thinking about trying to go to Iron Age himself, as Diante is. And the villager numbers actually are equaling out now. Actually, in fact, Diante's stopped making vills. I don't know if that's intentional. He has like 800 food in bank. I don't know if he's just trying to save up for the big upgrades. Let's go capital and engineering straight away. More hoplites in the crew and phalangite. Could probably squeeze in the odd villager here and there though. Get the numbers going up. Oh yeah, they get the extra pierce armor when you upgrade into the catapult. So that should shut down a lot of the power of the Hittite chariot archers, but then it's just a question of when Iron Age comes in and then the heavy horse archers come in for the Hittite player, and then I think that might be just, I guess it's just, yeah, how much damage Diante can do. Ooh. In the meantime, whilst MrMorec gets up to the Iron Age. I don't know, I feel like Horse Archer from Hittite in the Iron Age is still pretty nice, but we'll see. And here we go, Catapult upgrade is in, like I said, with 4 pierce armor now, and obviously with way more damage, bigger splash radius. Alchemy, I mean, I guess technically it gives +1 damage to the catapults, but yeah, kind of unnecessary, you gotta say. And it does have, I was going to say you have some towers, but he never actually finished that tower. Phalangite as well. Did he get the Iron Shield? He's not actually got Iron Shield yet. He's getting Aristocracy. This village just kind of chilling in. And again, a little bit questionable from Diante here. He should be trying to push at this point, but like, he's way ahead of his catapults. Maybe these will be able to get some damage in. I don't know why these villagers are here. Iron Shield coming in now. A few chariot archers being annoying here. Ballistics probably should have come in before Alchemy did. Wait, does Ballistics even affect catapults in this game? I can't even remember. Yeah, 3% more damage. But yeah, basic. I lost quite a lot. I didn't. Yeah. What we're looking at. So, stone throw, catapult response, and there we go. Horse archers coming in, and I think, okay, villager count is going up for Diante, but I think you got to say he's not really done enough damage with his early Iron Age that he got, and I think these horse archers, when they start hitting the field, he's got quite a lot of food in wooden bank. MrMorec might want to try and balance his resources a little bit there. Get a few more farms going. And he's trying to get them down here, but we'll flip back to the action. And he is getting tower shielding now as well. But the heavy horse archer, they have 8 damage. And looks like MrMorec's actually winning the catapult trade before even getting the catapult upgrade in, just with his base stone throwers. This is I was going to say, like, you get a lot of mangonel micro in AOE2, but I've not really seen it so much in AOE1. And yeah, the heavy horse archer, well, not heavy yet. We've got quite a few resources off heavy at the moment. Like I said, MrMorec probably needs to sell a lot of his wood, or at least make a lot more farmers. And it's like it's still slight villager leads. Maybe 13 catapults now, so maybe Diante can do something here. Maybe I'm calling it quits a bit too soon. Hittite bonus obviously going to help in the catapult war. Actually, is it still just... I think it's still just 2 hits, so I don't think the extra health actually makes a difference. I'm trying to figure it out. I think it's only if you get the heavy catapult in that the extra health makes a difference. But some chariot archers trying to be sneaky at the back here. And horse archer numbers are building up. What have we got here? Just more siege workshops being spammed, so it's both players going all in the siege. Phalangite numbers are actually picking up now. And again, many vills ahead for Diante, so maybe, like, I was saying the horse archers were going to be the turning point, but maybe this is a little bit too slow. MrMorec focusing more on the catapults and the chariot combination than the horse archers themselves. I think at this point, I guess they got the alchemy as well. But the effectiveness of the unit definitely dropped off at this point, especially when Phalangites have got the tower shield upgrade as well. Be very hard to take down. So yeah, MrMorec, again, maybe his eco, I mean, I guess he's got good eco if he just wants to keep pumping catapults. But that's going to be problematic because he's not going to have anything to deal with the phalangites if he keeps doing that. Like I said, don't think the chariot archers are really doing enough damage to deal with the phalangites at this point. So I think horse arch was the play if we didn't decide to go with it. And it looks like Diante might be able to pick this one up. Like I said, I didn't think he did enough damage in that early Iron Age, but it looks like maybe the Greek power is just strong enough. Maybe he's running out of gold, though, is the next question. He's got 2k in bank. I think he has mined all the gold he has. He's got a bit more stone left. Can maybe sell that. I think he's used all his gold up now, though. So what he's got... Oh, he's found another gold somewhere, actually. Have I just missed it somewhere? Maybe it's in the middle of the map. There we go. Just mining that gold in the middle there. So there's access to 1,000 more gold. I think this is probably going to be enough to see it home. He's trying to go back into the horse archers now. But I think it's too late. And like I said, I think that I'm pretty sure the Hittite bonus doesn't actually make a difference when it's catapult versus catapult. I think it's just when you get the heavy catapult upgrade in terms of catapult versus catapult, that is, obviously. Because they do the 60 damage, and they've got less than 120 health. And yeah, again, he's got a decent pump of horse archers coming in, but I just don't think he's going to have the time now. And Sea Watch coming in, domestication as well. I don't know why we're just going for all these upgrades here. I mean, heavier catapult makes sense, but I don't know why I was going for stone mining there. He did cancel it though. And I mean, like I said, I feel like the horse archers should be pretty powerful here, so maybe it does hold. But I think with the villager numbers, especially, you've got to favour Diante at this point. He's in on the villagers at the back here now, and doesn't look like MrMorec's going to have much of a counter punch. Yeah, the horse archer's just being dealt with. Switching back into chariots just to try and pump any units. And I think this is probably just going to be the slow death now. Still got 2,000 gold. He's not making any units anymore. It's a little bit confusing from Diante, unless he just thinks he's won. He's building a town centre on MrMorec's face for a little bit of BM. Disrespect TC. Don't exactly know why. Oh, there is actually some gold there. There is about 250 gold, so I guess technically worth. I mean, MrMorec's sat on like 2.6k gold. He's just not using it. And yeah, but heavy catapult in now from Diante. And these are going to be 5 pierce armor on those. Basically impossible to deal with at this point. Like, he's got 28 chariot archers, but they basically do nothing to the heavy catapults now. And he's trying to break in again, but he's losing his entire base trying to do it. Down to 87 villagers now. It's been quite a long game, 47 minutes. And I was going to say, I think it's only a matter of time until GG, and Diante does pull it off. And I mean, look at all his TCs. How many TCs did he build in the end? I'm trying to find a TC, I'm just scrolled out too far. 19 TCs at the end, not bad. And yeah, I think MrMorec should have just gone for the horse archers in the Iron Age. I mean, yeah, Diante is the Citadel player, but I've seen him lose some games to the early slinger rush. But again, like I said, the Hittites just don't get slingers, so he just didn't have to even care about that. So again, MrMorec could have maybe played some mind games by just picking a different civ. And yeah, the Greek combined siege and heavy infantry going the distance, and we bring ourselves level again. Ooh. That was interesting. I'd like switch back to the normal game. It just got like a catapult noise. And let me have a see. I'm just going to refresh AOE2 Rex. Oh, capture rate still does the burning bug, even with after the update. Feels bad now, man. All right, Jesse. And okay, they're just setting up the lobby for the next room, for the next game, I should say. So I will take us back to the draft. So we had a Hittite loss to the Greeks. And so MrMorec gets to pick now what map he wants. Is he going to reveal what map he wants to play? Still hovering citadels at the moment. So out of his own maps, he has Inland Mediterranean Oasis. I think actually he might want to avoid Mediterranean now, because Diante actually first picked the Minoans. And you've got to think, if any map's been, if the Minoans getting played on any map, it's going to be Mediterranean. So maybe MrMorec tries to avoid that for now. Yeah, MrMorec actually managed to win the Palmyrans against Latvia on Highland on the first map. Diante sort of flopped on his Tool Age defense, unfortunately. Citadel's game had quite a lot more action in it. A bit more back and forth. So I'm just trying to think. Maybe he just goes for inland, just because that was his first map pick. And maybe Phoenicians, or maybe Persians would be nice there, or maybe even Kaf. He's got a lot of options of things he could go for. I'm trying to think, inland Civ, maybe Yamato for inland for Diante, which is, I guess, maybe Egyptians for inside out, and then what would be his dark forest pick? Maybe Macedonians. I think Mace tends to do quite well on dark forest with all the weird shenanigans, having the extra vision in the early game. The extra line of sight is always quite nice. So I'm just going to refresh AOE2 Rex again because I just don't trust it anymore. It just doesn't update for me properly. Maybe I click some setting on it by accident. But anyway. Yep, so they are actually in the game. And the map is Islands. And we will see the civs when we get there. Oh, did I say? Yeah, I meant inland. They look kind of the same, the words. And the civs are, so it is Phoenicians for MrMorec, and it's Macedonians for Diante. That's interesting. He finds a boat pretty early on. That's quite nice for him. And forward villager. I don't know if this is just boar hunting or for some more sinister purpose, perhaps. Map size. It should be the 3-player map. Let me just double check that it is 3-player map. It is the 3-player map, yeah. Excuse me, just had a little cough there. So yeah, this villager's sort of just chilling out for the time being. MrMorec does narrowly miss his... it's the... You hate to see it. We've all been there. Boar just chilling on the edge of the line of sight there. Is this bear going to get involved? What's bear vision? No, bear vision's pretty small. Another villager coming out from Diante. And this is quite a weird inlands map, which I guess maybe that was what Chins was on about. I mean, inland is just weird. This is like why I never selected it myself. It's like the number of different inland spawns you can get is just insane. It's just like really hard to predict what you might end up with. But like MrMorec kind of has his own little pond either side. In fact, like Diante just has all the back here to himself, but obviously they don't know that. I like inland unless it's dumb inland. Well, the thing is, like, maybe I just don't know the map well enough, but I don't know how to like read if it's dumb inland or a regular inland. Like, if only I had my starting scout, man, like I get an AOE2. Just saying. Just give me a scout, man, that's all I want. And okay, MrMorec does go for the dock. So actually, let's have a look at what they've seen. I was very confused there, and it's because I'm on the Gaia point of view still. I was like, how the hell has he seen that? He's only had very little vision, and he decides to just go for the docklet. I guess you can more or less predict that it's basically just going to be the corner. Diante with the villager, though. MrMorec does spot this. Looks like Diante didn't spot it, though. But yeah, you can see the Macedonian line of sight bonus. I don't know what Diante's actual plan is. He's going up to tool age now. Actually, 22 vills. I've only just noticed that. 23, 24. He's got 5 in queue from MrMorec. So I don't know what the big idea is there. Because he's got the fish boom going. In fact, well, yeah, I was going to say he definitely sees this, but did he see the dock was my original question, but he does. A lot of vills forward. Okay, I was like, is this going to be some sort of tower rush? But it's just a 3 villager house build. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Maybe he's just going to Granny really this afterwards. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I was a little bit confused by what's going on there. But tool age is going to be way earlier for Diante. And he is going clubbers. There was a little bit slow getting the barracks up. Although quicker than the Latviat game in the first match of this series. In fact, I've just realised we're coming up to the time for the next series to actually get started, so I'm not sure if someone else is going to stream that game. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's best of 7. Good point. BS7. Not 6. Gets back up to speed. Another dot going up. Maybe a little bit greedy from MrMorec here. But again, Diante's not the most aggressive of players. He's going into scouts here, though. There's the Macedonians. Second stable as well. And MrMorec doesn't even have a barracks yet. I didn't think I saw one. No, it's still again pretty greedy approach. Feels like it's again maybe just a fast bronze, but he is wide open. Cavalry upgrades are both in from the storage pit. So this is definitely Diante's time to shine. Archery range to market. I guess he must have had a barrack somewhere then. Oh, okay, built it there, yeah. I literally saw him place the foundation of that. I should have known. Like I said, armour and melee upgrade is already in. He's going to get like sort of building wall here, but he's trapping his villagers inside with the scout. So this scout's going to get a few kills here. Is that going to be 3? Tool age not yet clicked. Buildings are up, but he doesn't have the food. Scouts are in, and I think MrMorec's been a bit too greedy here. And I think the scout push from Diante might be the play that wins this game. He does get the walls up, I guess, so the villagers are safe, but where is he getting this food from now? I guess, yeah, well, I say, where's he getting the food from? From the water there. But again, he doesn't have any small walls up yet. I don't know if he actually researched it. I'm not sure if that did come in. Could easily take this house down, though. A little bit more focus from Diante here would do him the world of wonders. He's going to kill this guy here. But you could just focus down this house and he breaks in. Scout ship coming out. Where's that coming from? from this dock here, I guess. Why is he building a scout ship? He's just chilling here. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what that was about. Scouts can get in now, though. Like I said, Diante feels like he could focus this a lot better than he is doing. And small walls still not coming in from MrMorec. 21 vils to 32, though. Gotta think. I was saying that Diante's not actually on the water, though, so yeah, you can actually see an eco count. Is he going to be able to pick up a few of the fishing ships here? Or is MrMorec going to move him away? No, he's going to pick up some of the fishing ships here. The rarely seen scout and fishing ship action. Does sink a ship. I don't really get why Diante's didn't try to crack this more earlier. And now I think MrMorec's actually got the bow numbers that this doesn't work anymore, because it's just, like, the house walls are made of paper, as I like to say, but the paper takes a little while to pierce through. In fact, it deletes the granary there to let the bows out. And I don't know why we've got 4 scouts in the scout ships in the queue here from MrMorec. I guess he's just floating a lot of wood, but like, I guess you can argue it protects the fish eco. Feels a little bit overkill to me, though. And now the scouts come in where the granary was destroyed. Oh, does he even have the archer? He does have the archer armor in it, at least. But I think the scout should get a pretty big amount of damage here. Oh no, saying that, it looks like the bowman mass is big enough that that didn't matter somehow. And villagers idle. 12 ahead for Diante. So what's Diante actually? He's still just pumping scouts, and that's the thing. It's like scouts just cost so much that, like, if you aren't getting the damage done with them, so give MrMorec potentially the chance to come back here. He's only got 2 left now. He's still pumping 4 and crew. I mean, he has to do something now, because he knows MrMorec has a good handful of bows ready to pounce. This number of scouts should be able to deal with this, though. I'm pretty sure. A little bit of micro from Diante. Nicely done. Still quite difficult when you kite, though. So maybe Diante doesn't actually clear this up. Oh no, okay, MrMorec gives up. Oh no. Scout gets picked off. I mean, most of the bows are going to die, for sure. And yet Diante's still committing to the scouts. So, okay. Interesting. And again, the eco numbers actually slightly in favour of MrMorec, just because he is on the water there. And I was going to say, how much... He's still got quite a decent amount of food left in that lake. So he's not going to be running out anytime soon. Just trying to move my keyboard where I can actually use it and not... My cat's in the way again, unfortunately, but scouts are in. Again, bow numbers are down. Woodworking just coming in. And it looks like, in fact, MrMorec's switching into scouts himself. And again, Diante maybe lacking a little bit of focus with his military here. It's just like I said, there was a bit earlier where he could have just killed this house and got in. And again, he's not really. I guess there are 10 vils in here, and you can maybe make an argument for just putting all the scouts to attack the town centre. Attacking farmers feels a little bit unnecessary. Diante ready for the villagers to pop out. Just go for 1-for-1. And in fact, he's switching into axes here. So I get away. See, I was going to say, I don't know if he saw the scouts, but he definitely sees the flags on the stables there, so he knows there's scouts in there, because that's literally the only unit you can build. So Diante ready with the switch on the units. I think he's still got quite a lot left on the water. There's like 250 here, 250, another 700 plus whatever's in here, and he's got this pond as well. But Diante with like 18 actual vil lead, and this TC is going to go down, and his these villagers are not going to have anywhere to go. So this might be the GG when this goes down. If you can't get the villagers away, Diante needs to pay attention here. Diante not on the ball. Only half the scouts move. Scouts pop out for MrMorec. Bows in defense. Yeah, a little bit lack of focus again by Diante. He's going to get a few kills here, but I think pretty much all the scouts are going to get mopped up. Axes are coming in the back though, but again, MrMorec does have the bows ready. This fight's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Maybe the scouts doing more than I thought they would actually. I thought the number of scouts that MrMorec had there, I guess maybe just a lot of his things there were just the villagers, so yeah, down to 19. So in fact, Diante, I spoke too soon. Diante's absolutely crushed MrMorec there. But like I said, a little bit sloppy from Diante, but in the end, didn't seem to matter. And yeah, these scouts that have been switched into, been countered by the axes. One scout still going to kill probably a couple more villagers here. I know MrMorec's doing an alright job of trying to micro this away, although, ooh, how did that scout just like sneak through there? You wouldn't get that in DE, just saying. Little slipping through. And okay, the stretch wasn't up. And scouts, I mean, it's been interesting to see that Diante's just still kept with the full tool pressure. In fact, I didn't even see this. MrMorec's docked a bunch of the other pools here. But I think at this point, there's just too much military for Diante. And yeah, again, it's been a while now, but I think just way too greedy from MrMorec, especially going with the second dock. I think like Diante went on like 22 vills himself. MrMorec was maybe like 24, 25. I mean, MrMorec's still putting up some resistance, but again, 6 villagers left now. It does have fishing eco going, but at this point, this pond is starting to run a little bit dry now. I mean, there's still about 1,000 food in that, saying that. And the scout ships on the water. However, finally, Diante actually did get enough food. I mean, you can see his farm eco up and running, 36 on food, and he is up on the way to Bronze Age now. And he's still pumping units as well. Again, maybe not focusing his military as well as he could do. Like, you could probably just like pick off houses and stuff if you want to just pick off buildings instead of just randomly attacking. I don't know if you can talk in the casters chat and restrictions to see if someone else can cast the other series. I'm not sure if that one's getting started yet, because I think this is going to go on for quite some time as we're in game 3. Casey's casting it. Okay, that's cool. Just making sure. Yeah, it's, what's that game? I can't remember now. It's Bob against... Who's Bob playing? But yeah, Diante just sweeping up the last of the villagers, down to 9 now. TC did get rebuilt at the back here, but like, funnily enough, those scout ships that I scoffed at earlier, the only thing really keeping MrMorec in the game here. I think GG probably gets called when Bronze Age comes in though. And pretty nice game from Diante in the end. But again, maybe just a little bit too greedy from MrMorec in the Stone Age. Doesn't tap out. Cavalry's coming in now. And there's not really anything in the Tool Age that can really deal with cavalry. GG does get called. 2-1 for Diante. Okay. Maybe we do have a series on our hands, boys and girls. Again, I think just a lot of this just came down to the greedy approach by MrMorec. And like, he was wide open at the front here and the scouts just came in. And then he tried to get those buildings up, but they're like that one scout just being in there. Once it has those storage pit upgrades on it. They're so difficult to deal with for the villagers. Where are you going, cat? You going over to your cushion? All right. She's fed up with me now. And yeah, well, that takes us to game 4. Diante taking a lead now in the series. Who'd have thunk it? Like, I did think there'd be a few back and forth games, but if I was a betting man, I probably would have bet for MrMorec in this series, but we'll see if he can prove me wrong. Just have to restart Capture Age again so it doesn't do the burning noise. I think I'm going to... I was going to say... I said it before that I was going to message someone from the Capture Age, see if they can get that sorted out. And let's get back to the draft. So we played... What did we just play? We played Inland and we played with the Phoenicians. Lost to the Macedonians from Diante. So MrMorec gets to pick again. And I'm going to refresh AOE2 Rex again, because again, just for some reason just doesn't work properly for me. It doesn't update itself. It's going to be Oasis, the next map. So another MrMorec's maps. So potentially Persians here can be quite nice, or Carthaginians, pretty strong in the early game, or even Shang. Yeah, he's got quite a few civs here where he can play. They're pretty strong in the early game, which is a normal go-to on the usually very open Oasis map. Diante, what's he? I guess maybe Romans is probably would be my bet for Diante here. And I guess let's have a look-see. I'm going to just refresh AOE2 Rex again, so I don't miss the start of the game again. Yep, they're away. Okay, interesting. So yeah, Shang is the choice for MrMorec, but it's actually Yamato for Diante. And it does give you the option of like the cheaper archer ranges and cheaper staples, mean you can kind of go for either scouts, and the cheaper scouts in fact as well. Means you can go scouts or bowmen. As Yamato, they're quite nice and diverse. Obviously the Shang with the much stronger eco in the Stone Age. And Diante already going elephant hunting. Ooh, he's going to take a hit there. He's not going to take another hit, is he? Oh my god, he's playing this very dangerously. He's going to find another elephant though. But I think this elephant's kind of almost too close for that to work. He got away with it. Oh, I had to hold my breath there. I was scared. But he is going to get the 2 elephants. So he's done quite well for himself there. Has he got any more elephants? He's got a couple in the back as well. So he finds those as well. A couple of elephants found for MrMorec as well. Which is again why Persians can be quite good on this map if you can find quite a few of those early elephants. But MrMorec went with the much more reliable Shang, who their villages are cheaper regardless of how many elephants you find. You don't like Oasis? Oasis is a classic map, man. I don't know, but maybe I don't know. I've just said. Yeah, I mean that is true. You're quite reliant on finding those elephants, but I mean a lot of that maps come down to finding elephants, though. You could argue. MrMorec can go full wall. He does have... Or do you just mean like... I mean, yeah, it's actually quite closed off here. You'd have to scout it, though. Because this would be very easy walls. And then you can maybe wall here, here and here. But then again, it's like I said, you have to scout it. But like, in fact, like you can sort of see on the minimap here, like MrMorec just has way more wood on his side of the map. It's just like there's just big empty space here, which is basically just no wood. I guess it's quite open here. you could argue. And let's have a look where we're at. 21 vills again. So no, this isn't what I was expecting, boys and girls. I don't know about you. But 22 vills up, 23 vills up with the Shang. It's going to be the same for Diante, but he had a little bit of idle time. In fact, he hasn't even clicked. He's not actually got the food yet, so he's going to have a bit more idle time. But both 23 vills again. Maybe they just think that on the 3-player map, risking the rushes is just not worth it. You would have thought that MrMorec with the Shang would be willing to go for it, though. Maybe MrMorec just thinks he has the stronger civ and just doesn't really matter how he plays this. The Shang have the faster attacking cavalry in the bronze, and Yamato have the cheaper cavalry. I think I'd probably prefer the cheaper cavalry from the Yamato at that point. Just makes him more easy to mass. I guess that's true, yeah, you can play the camel, but then what if Yamato goes like compy? Because they get the cheaper archery range upgrades as well. Yeah, stone. But then what wins? Camel, stone, or compy cavalry? Guess maybe. I guess compy cavalry is probably a pretty expensive combo. Actually, no, compy's like, as long as you got access to your gold, aren't that expensive. They're just a little bit slow to get into. But yeah, oh wait, double stable actually. So it's not going to be the Bronze Age. In fact, either is it going to be bronze from either player? Stable. What? This is blowing my mind. We both went 23 popper and market, and we both go in double stable. The attack speed bonus only applies to the cavalry line for Shang, so this should favour the Yamato at this point with the cheaper stables and cheaper scouts. Though again, Shang just with the villager eco, always very strong in every situation. But I wasn't expecting this, so we're going to stay in the Tool Age for a little while. No barrack shenanigans. Yeah, 2 stables, no food. Yeah, very true. I mean, that's just scouts in a nutshell, isn't it? And Diante probably balancing his eco a little bit better here. I guess has just sort of trying to figure it out. Just has a few more scouts already in play. Well, I guess technically, literally just one. Oh, there we go. MrMorec's just switching into his farms now. Spends all his wood. Like I said, the Yamato, cheaper stables is always very, very nice. 2 stables only costing you 200 wood instead of 300. See, I guess he's just going to fetch that elephant. Ooh. We moonwalk in on that scout. I saw that. I see you. First scout's going to get caught out for Diante, though. I think we got all the upgrades. Yeah, we got all the upgrades for both players. Again, the Yamato scouts are cheaper, though. Just have the numbers advantage here. MrMorec. Nice little bit of micro. Diante kind of getting a little just run around it. Again, just like when it comes to the actual combat, it feels like Diante just kind of attack moves in and then just hopes for the best. With MrMorec willing to put a little bit more micro into those fights, and he actually wins that exchange despite being a number down. Although the scout does sneak through for Diante. Can he pick off a couple of these villagers? I think he should have just committed there to the vills, because yeah, he's just going to lose this scout now. So yeah, a little bit sloppy from Diante. Again, MrMorec just outplaying him in the little micro fights there. And you just have already a little tower defense that MrMorec does quite like to go for. I don't have... Yeah, I guess we had citadels on one of the map, but I've not seen any of the walls, the actual small walls from MrMorec in any of the open maps. I mean, I don't know if he killed a villager. I didn't see Diante actually get on the walls. And the idle time's about the same. Maybe it is just a... Unless, maybe that... I don't know. Oh, eco deaths. We've got literally got the eco kill deaths. So that must have died to an elephant. I think Diante lost one to an elephant somewhere. I mean, Axes do have the advantage, but then Oasis is such an open map that I feel like Axes probably just get run around. Woodworking coming in. But yeah, the towers, I think, going to put this attack to the bay. And actually, MrMorec has a huge numbers advantage here. Obviously, you can't select your opponent's unit, so you have to just go by eye. Although that number, should be able to pretty easily tell you got the advantage there. Just more towers going down for MrMorec as well. I guess maybe just playing the numbers game. They're saying that both players are essentially getting a 10 food discount for the units that they're pumping. So in a way, you could argue the scout bonus. Actually, it depends how long a scout takes to make, actually, because I think it is like double the time of a villager. So they kind of got the same discount going. It's just whether or not these scouts are actually going to get any damage done. Everyone's calling out for the axes. I mean, yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen this many scouts in AOE1. This granary, how many does it have there? 14, 16 for Diante. It might be worth going around this way for either of the players, checking out the backside. We're just going to, of course, just garrisoning the tower there. And, I mean, they do have the 1 pierce armor, so the watchtower doesn't do too much damage, and Diante does go for the engage hit. Does have the numbers advantage for now, though you can see the HP total is actually pretty much dead even. Reinforcements coming for both players. So they're pumping both from 3 stables. But yeah, these watchtowers, I think one villager does get picked off there. This watchtower should make the difference in this fairly even fight, though. But again, each of these scouts is 15 food cheaper, actually, for Diante. Well, it does pretty handily lose this trade in the end. But you can see the numbers are still fairly even overall. And as Diante just regroups that. Efficiency. Can I change this? I mean, both players. This is just classic AOE1 efficiency. And yeah, like when you just sit under the tower for that long, like I said, they don't do too much damage. I guess they're doing 4 damage a shot, but they attack quite slowly. But when you're sat under them for that amount of time, the tower definitely makes a difference. So what other things do I get? Military game, effective APM. So you can see MrMorec on the military APM a lot higher there. That can't be alright. It's got 3. There's no way that's right. Is that last minute? It's got to be like last minute. Anyway, we'll come off that before we start slating players. But yeah, Scout. I mean, Diante should definitely see this. Oh my god. I mean, this is... The scouts definitely saw it. Oh, I mean, I guess they could go... But MrMorec already has the towers in defense. Scouts... Oh, it's just a little bit lack of... Like I said, just... lack of vision in certain areas of the map for Diante. And loads... so many villagers are going to die here. Scouts get pulled back. I mean, Diante, his scout spotted this, but obviously Diante was focusing on something else at the time. And I think he will be able to clear this up, but I mean, it's only 6 eco kills, actually 7 now. And okay, here we go. Yeah, I was going to say, it's just how many villagers are going to die here now. This hasn't actually done as much damage as I thought it would. Like I said, Diante, excuse me, definitely has Tool Age, Bronze Age coming in for MrMorec now, though. All he has to do is run Distraction for the next couple of minutes. 6 villagers move on to gold. And I guess it probably will be, I think camels would be the unit of choice, like Unres was saying, especially when it's just scouts on the table at the moment. Scouts are just chilling. But yeah, I mean, MrMorec, all he has to do is run around with these scouts now. Although saying that, Diante trying to maybe go for a little bit of a counter. But again, these towers are going to make life difficult, not just because of the damage, but also because the villagers can obviously just hide in them as well. And actually, the reinforcements of scouts do. In fact, yeah, MrMorec is still making scouts. I think he's got the hill advantage here as well. Pretty hefty numbers advantage to boot. Scouts running at the back here, though. Oh, it looks like he's just trying to reinforce. This fight's getting a little bit closer than I thought it would, actually. I guess quite a lot of the scouts from MrMorec were damaged. But you can see the HP totals now favouring MrMorec more and more. Trying to get a few villager kills, I guess. Pick that one villager off, come on. Denying the gold is actually pretty big here. But Bronze Age comes in and Diante taps out. Didn't quite have them to go up to bronze himself, and I guess, yeah, in that race we didn't get to see the Bronze Age unit matchup, sadly. But yeah, just Diante, I don't know exactly what he was focusing on in that moment. It's a little bit after this, I think it's about here. But like this scout here definitely sees. Does he see? Yeah, he sees the whole squad there. And I guess I don't know exactly what Diante was focusing on at the time. But yeah, because you can see at this point, Diante's actually ahead on the bills. But that costs him basically the game there. So 2-2. Pretty even games though. How many scouts were made in total? Can I even check that? Oh, we can, yeah. 67 from Diante and 42 from MrMorec. Which I guess makes sense because of the cheaper Yamato scouts. And like, I think there was a few fights where Diante, like that early fight where, I mean, that was only 5 against 4, but Diante had the 5-4 advantage and MrMorec just out-microed him. And then there was like that fight under the tower on the TC, and he lost quite a few there. Well, that's the thing. It's like, even for Yamato at 85 food for scouts, like 10 scouts are still 850 food. So yes. But yeah, it's interesting that both players went like 23 pop up. So MrMorec didn't even go for any, like, I mean, the Shanga obviously just way stronger than the Yamato before that Tool Age kicks in, so he could have tried to take advantage of that, but decided to just play it slow and use the towers to hold him safe. And like I said, Diante maybe just not controlling his military quite, I don't want to quit out that, what am I doing, quite correctly in the key moments. What do you mean? Just going full scouts doesn't make sense for Shang? Is that what you mean, Offwo? Oh, do you mean? Oh, sorry. Do you mean the late uptime? I mean, I think on Oasis it's hard to add the axes just because the map's so open. But like, at least defensively, you could just sit a few axes at a few like key points, right? And in fact, they are already straight into the next game. So I will just stop rambling and get us in. And it is going to be inside out, because obviously Diante gets to choose now. And it is going to be Assyrians against Egyptians. I think since the Assyrian bonuses got put in steps, I think I just prefer Egyptians, I think, nowadays, with their extra HP on their chariots. Because again, Morec's picked a Civ on the closed map where he can't build slingers. So again, Diante knows that he can just sit and chill into bronze, which is exactly the way he likes to play the game. And yeah, priests are very, very strong for the Egyptians, with the extra range, and also I think it's their team bonus where they get the extra pierce armor as well, which makes them hard to snipe. Delete Egyptian. I mean, like on the more closed maps now, Egyptians, yeah, I mean, I guess they were always quite strong on the closed maps. Just the cheaper farms to help you get that eco going up as you start to click into the bronze. And the extra HP on the chariots, all just like passive bonuses that you don't really have to do much to take advantage of. But yeah, like I said, I think I think a lot of people. Well, I personally don't think the Assyrians are very good Civ at the moment. I don't know what other people think, but yeah, in this matchup, I think I definitely prefer the Egyptians. And let's have a look and see. Oh, so actually, unfortunately for Diante, you get 2 berry bush spawns, but both of his have spawned the front of his base. I think this is literally the first time I've ever seen this. You can see MrMorec here are both at the back. So yeah, you always have 2 near your base. But yeah, this is very unfortunate for Diante. I guess you can maybe try and claim this area here. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe words. But yeah, that's like all of we'll see. I mean that you pretty much always want to try and get a granary up on the second berries. Maybe Diante still goes for it. Again, he probably expects the Assyrians to just chill until they reach the bronze on this map, because again, they just don't get the slinger. So it's going to be very hard to take down the walls for the Assyrians in the Tool Age. Yeah, MrMorec finds his other berries. Does Diante see the berry? He does see both the patches of berries at least. Because I think if they're at the back, sometimes you can't always see. Yeah, you can see that like this berry is slightly out of the range of the wall there. Early villagers go out though. 24 villagers for MrMorec. So again, he's got 8 villagers in queue. And Diante going up on the more reasonable, maybe not reasonable, more expected 23. Okay, there we go, fine. Cancelled all the vills. I was just going to say, like, what is going on here? I mean, 26 vills still though. I guess when you expect your opponent to just go straight bronze, gives you the slight eco edge. But obviously that means Diante's probably going to have access to those chariots quite a bit sooner. And the MrMorec just... Barry's going down. So is this just going to go all in axes? Because like I said, as we all know, the Syrians don't get the slinger. And as the Egyptians, you're going to build the archery range. Yeah, so like, it wouldn't be too difficult for Diante to just add in a few bowmen on his way up. Excuse me, his way up to bronze. Well, they're saying that he doesn't actually have the wood from market. So, a little bit of a miscalculation on the eco. Just Still a little bit short. He has food in hand. Barracks just goes down. No archer range. Okay. I mean, we fixed the building damage bug, so the archers don't just demolish the walls anymore. So, I mean, I guess... Diante just also... I feel like this just gets completely denied as soon as... I mean... They both go up at the same time in the end, because the wood wasn't quite there for the market. But I was going to say, I feel like this just gets instantly denied as soon as the first wave of chariot archers comes out from Diante. Stable as well. I'm not really sure what the plan from MrMorec here is. Both players going with the woodworking on the way up. Is Bob Knotts doing so great in the other series? Bob's been practicing quite a lot. Sorry, just having to take a little sip as we wait for the Bronze Age to come in. Actually, does it? That looks like... How is it? Oh no, it's about the same. Okay. This looked like Diante was like way more progressed. But it's only like 6 seconds. Anyway, as I said, I think personally I prefer the extra HP on the Egyptians to the what is only a 22% attack speed bonus for the Assyrians. I think I said that wrong. The extra HP on the Egyptians, if I did say it wrong, against the 22% in the Bronze Age attack speed bonus for the Assyrian chariot archers. And yeah, both players obviously going for the wheel straight away. And MrMorec's going to try and switch up by adding some cavalry in the mix, by the looks here. And did build a singular bowman, I guess, just to scout. And you can see here, MrMorec's like taking both the berries at the back here. And both of these got denied for Diante. So that's going to put him a little bit... I guess maybe that was part of why he didn't have as much wood as he like had to swap it into the farms earlier. Maybe that was part of why the market was a little bit late. But he's going for the tool working tech as well. So maybe just like a little handful of cavalry whilst the chariots come in. In fact, it's actually the camels from Diante, which does... Did he see the stable? Maybe he's just trying to like, yeah, maybe he's just trying to like cause mayhem in the back line there. But yeah, priests coming in. And you can see, I think it will show the +3 range here, it does. And these early chariot archers already been a little bit of a nuisance. And there's only one archery range for Diante still at the moment. He's a little bit pinched for resources. He's got a bit too much gold, actually. He's just going to make some more priests. Yeah, the Diante maybe not a little bit slow to getting this military going. He's got the camels, which would be useful into the cavalry, which he's now trying to convert. I'm just like a little bit surprised he went for the camels. I guess maybe just predicted the cavalry. I feel like you just want to get your own chariot archers against this as the Egyptians, which he is sort of doing, but again he's only got the singular archery range. The small gate's actually going to go down, and the military numbers advantage is in MrMorec's favour for the time being. And the stable comes down, so we're just going full camel and priest here. Camels are going to get a little bit suckered in here. Trying to convert one of the chariots, but I think the priest's probably going to go down for the trouble. It doesn't even get the conversion off either. Chariot's obviously a bit more resistant to the conversion. And I think MrMorec just has the numbers here to push this home, especially with the cavalry here. He's going to have to get a couple of quick conversions to spin this around. Cavalry are being a little bit of a nuisance. Camels, sorry, are being a bit of a nuisance. Yeah, the cavalry's just... The cavalry seemed weird because of the priests, and the camel seems weird because I would have just expected chariot archers from Assyria myself, but it is what it is. This is the world we're in, with camels from the Egyptian player. I think these are mostly just going to get swept up again. This priest is very annoying for the cavalry though. Obviously you don't want to get one of those converted. This priest is way out of its depth though. But MrMorec isn't focusing. Definitely could have killed that before the conversion went out. But again, I think the military numbers, it's just going to be a bit too much for Diante to deal with here. And yeah, I mean, it didn't even have leather armor in. Did have the attack upgrade in, but this is just, I think this is already too much military with Diante being completely open here. When he's just gone for government centre and a second TC. In fact, MrMorec's already on 2 CCs actually. GG, yeah. Weird game. Weird game. Yeah, I don't really know what the read was there. I don't really get the... It was kind of strange because, like, the camels kind of half made sense just because MrMorec went cavalry, but obviously Diante didn't know that he'd gone cavalry. And I feel like into the chariot archers, you just want to play your own chariot archer instead of camel. Just because the HP bonus you have on the Egyptians, I think, outmatches the attack speed bonus at this point in the game. And that is... Now we go back 3-2 in favour of MrMorec. I feel like Diante was in a fine position there, though. They both got up to the Bronze Age at the same time. And like I said, I feel like the Egyptian chariot bonus is just stronger. But I don't know. Maybe Diante just didn't feel that was the case. Maybe I'm not right on that one. And like I said, he had the unfortunate thing of the berries here, which I don't know if that did slow down the bronze, because like I said, he just didn't have the wood straight away. I don't know if that was because he was just like having to build those farms. Let's have a look. I mean, he's not actually even on farms at this point, so he just, I guess, just slightly missed. Just had a few too many villages on food by the looks of it. Was actually the problem. Yeah, you can see he's got food to spend and doesn't have the wood. Only... Oh no, okay, that was a little bit... Wait, the main point was that he wasn't on the farms already, so it wasn't that it wasn't the berries being forward that necessarily ruined that. But yeah, I don't know. The camels just felt weird to me. I would just leave it at that. And that takes us to game 6 of our potential best of 7. So if Diante does manage to bring this back, we're going to go the full distance. And we'll go back to here. So we've had inside out. So you've got to expect Dark Forest is going to be the next match. Shang beat the Yamato on the map before, and we've just seen the Assyrians beat the Egyptians. So what we have left is Karth and Persian against Minnow and Roman. And you've got to think that... I think you'd expect Persian for Medi. So, assuming it is Dark Forest, I think you'd pick the Carthaginians and then probably see Karth against Romans here, would be my guess. Just going to refresh my AOE2 Rex. Hopefully gets into the next game pretty pronto. And it is indeed Dark Forest, and it is indeed the civs I said. As I get us into the game. Oh, no I don't, because I've not closed the last game yet. Let me try that again. No, we're going to have to restart Capture Agent. We go again. So, indeed, like I said, Carthaginians against the Romans on Dark Forest, and MrMorec on match point now, and he finds the opening straight away. And maybe a bit unfortunate for Diante, the opening is like way on MrMorec's side, so he's already through here, completely unseen. Like I say, like it's the deceiving thing about Dark Forest is it feels like it should be a closed map, but just because like it's pretty difficult to actually block that up early on in AOE1, it means that if you can sneak these vills in, the map becomes a lot more open than you think it is. Is this villager going to get spotted though? Ooh, that was close. Barrack's going to go in the back. Is he going to start making clubbers early? Or is this... Because he's nowhere near being able to click up to tool yet. So his barracks feels a little bit early. He's building clubbers already. I mean, clubbers do have the extra HP. Going for the drush. I guess it's like the stush in AOE1. The stoosh. It's like douche, but with Stone Age. I mean, did Diante see it? No, he didn't still... I thought he like saw the barracks going... He's going to see it now. And Diante... is probably not going to be too happy about what he's seeing it. Going to the barracks is of his own. Basically the only response you can make at this point. I guess if you just outnumber with villagers, you could try and fight back. And that's maybe what he's trying to do now. As his elephant runs out. There are already 3-4 nearly clubbers in though. Is MrMorec just going to try and keep this to the Stone Age? Clubbers coming out from Diante. And still both keeping the villagers going. Although saying that, Diante's actually housed now. That one space is for the clubber, and that's villagers in... Yeah, you can see it's housed now. Doesn't actually have the resources for a house at the moment. He's going to be able to pick up a couple of clubbers here, though. We need to get a house down, Diante. There we go. Clubber does go down. So he's not actually caused any eco damage yet. In fact, all he's done is lost a clubber so far. There's a lot of idle time being caught. Like, we go to the villager efficiency here, you can see 32% villager efficiency in the last minute versus 60 for MrMorec. So though he's not actually doing much actual damage, although he does kill a villager there and another villager there. So now this is pretty huge damage. And he's just continued pumping those clubbers. Man. I mean, yeah, he's gone to tool age. I don't know if that saves him at this point, though. Like, I guess if he can get an archery range... I mean, he just switches into axe, right? I think axe... Yeah, you probably just go axe here. You don't need to worry about the archery range. Maybe try and get a second barracks down on the way up. I mean, he's mostly there. Storage pit, hex, and axe is probably all Diante needs to do here. Just keep his clubbers alive. Where is his other? What's going on here, dude? Just trying to club rush the town centre. So he just needs the storage pit hex. And axe it. I think storage pits needs the armour as well. Come on, Diante, you can do this. I believe in you. Oh man, if he clips down this, that'd be hilarious. Where's the armour? Oh my god, if this goes down, it's just doomed. It doesn't have the wood for another barracks. It's actually just gonna go down. The armour's coming in now. Clubbers are like so far away. Like I get he's trying to keep them alive. Okay, I mean, it still has like one. Did you pull it back? Oh, it's just not enough. He just doesn't have enough axes. Yeah, I think maybe they just needed the second barracks. He does kill the clubman there though. Stone Age, Tool Age is coming in for MrMorec now though. Yeah, the arm. I just don't get why he had the food to get the armor tech in. I don't know why it took him so long. Like he could have had it come in at the same time as Axa. I think he had to go in to stop the barracks going down. So I don't think it was that he needed to wait. I think he just needed to click the pit upgrade earlier. He didn't have a pit. I think he had this one here, didn't he? Or did he not? I'd have to go back and check that. I think he does clear this up now, but you can see he's 10 villages ahead at this point. Close up by a couple of hills as the age comes in. Let me just double check. I want to check if that pit wasn't up. Oh yeah, you're right. Yep, Alpha is completely correct. The pit just literally wasn't built yet. Yeah, I know what you meant, Unres, but I meant like I feel like he had to send in the axes, otherwise he was just going to lose the barracks. And yeah, now MrMorec's in Tool. You can see 8 villages ahead. I mean, this barracks is still alive. Yeah, he's just going to get the Axa upgrade himself. I don't think tool working actually came in for MrMorec either. It was, I think, interesting that he goes for tool working first, but I guess that doesn't matter too much unless you're literally trying to kill the villagers. But at this point, I think he's trying to deal with the axes. Armor upgrade only a bit after that. And yeah, I think the main difference here is going to be the resources collected. So I'll just show us here. Yeah, you can see 1500 resource advantage just by all that idle time that was caused by these villagers just running around. Big Croc getting involved here. MrMorec still wins the trade with both the storage pit techs. And I think when these axes go down, potentially, his berries are running out as well now. He does have some wood in the bank to try and build some more farms. I mean, he's not completely out yet, but okay, here come the bowmen as well. Although they're just chilling at the moment. And MrMorec has ample wood to just splurge out farms. Work himself towards the Bronze Age. And the early barracks were just full-on club rush in the Stone Age, and that's GG. And 4-2 for MrMorec in the end. So MrMorec advances. Yeah, I just don't forget the resources for the archery range. I think the Axa, maybe if he could have squeezed out, like I said, maybe squeezed out a second barracks on the way up, and then he could have just researched Axa and made a couple more Axes. But like at that point, arguably the damage was already done, just because so much idle time had been forced by MrMorec. And obviously MrMorec he was just chilling back here doing his own thing. I think I've got to say that in quite a few of the games Diante had had a bit of suboptimal control of some of his military units, like a little bit better micro in a lot of situations by MrMorec, and then maybe a few extra, like on that Citadels game. Even though Diante did win it in the end, he threw away quite a lot of the early hoplites and stuff like that in quite a few of the other games as well. So, I mean, still a pretty solid effort from Diante. I think the main thing I'd probably say was a little bit confused by his choice of the camels when he played the Egyptians on Inside Out. But he still managed to take 2 games, which isn't a bad feat. But MrMorec does indeed move on to the round of 16, where his potential opponent will be between leave map. Who is his potential opponent? Let's have a look. It'll be, where's the bracket? Oh no, it's already been decided. Oh, of course it is. What am I saying? It's the other seeds. He's playing against Cool. I'm like confusing myself there. I felt like I was like the other match needs to be played for his opponent, but obviously, yeah, the system we have, we already know his opponent is playing Cool, so that's going to be a pretty difficult game for MrMorec. And I assume that a series on Kitchen's channel is still going, so I will send you over to Kitchen's to watch his cast. So you guys can watch the rest of the game between Scarby and Bobest. Has he got his music on this time? He's actually decided to turn his music off this time. But I'll send you over to Kitchens, so hopefully you enjoyed this series. But I'll catch you in the next stream. All right, yeah, thanks again. I'll see you guys later.